Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Heyo and welcome today. You're just joined by me today. So yeah, it's just me kind of drawing today. I'm doing gesture drawing, just using a tool that I use usually, which is called lineofaction.com, and it's a really cool tool. You can I think you can get behind it and fundraise it and all that stuff. I know you used to. I haven't looked into it that far, but it's a really cool tool. Anywho, we will press play and we'll continue what I was doing. So basically, it comes up with a bunch of poses. So you've got 30 seconds to do all these poses for 10 drawings. I think you've got. So yeah, it's pretty cool. 30 seconds isn't too long. It's just trying to get kind of the gesture down. Don't expect much in 30 seconds, obviously. And that's the key thing, doing these 30-second studies. You don't expect much it to look that great. But you're just trying to jot down key points and ideas about how the pose fits together quickly at the start, and then you go a bit longer. So when you do get to that stage of actually drawing and actually kind of taking your time in drawing, then it's much more you're much more relaxed, I guess, about it, or accurate per se, in how you're going, because trying to get it jotted down in 30 seconds, like me trying to jot it down in 30 seconds here. I'm just trying to get the overall kind of feel right to it. I'm probably nowhere near it, but that's the main thing. It's a rough estimate of 30-ish seconds. I remember doing them in class, but not with people. With people. With people, and it'll be 2 minutes or something. Not long, 2 minutes each, and then we'll have some 5-minute ones. But they're never like this. Some were very dramatically posed by some people who kind of had the talent to, make a really funny face or something. And others kind of just made kind of a boring pose, it's just we're up there and posing, just for the fun of it, I guess. But yeah, we all drawed each other in different ways. It was interesting. It felt it helped. So I'll get too close up here. I'm just trying to feel out. I'm not the greatest at these shorter ones. I just kind of go ahead and kind of draw. I like the further stage when I'm dealing a bit. Well, I'm taking my time to actually draw it. With the speed ones, I'm just kind of jotting down what I can. It's all over the place, and trying to get this that right, and then I'm trying to get this right. So it's what happens, when you kind of draw like this. I done a gesture kind of for one video before, when I was drawing some humans. I did 3 or 4, and I was just drawing some anatomy. So, feel free to do this kind of anatomy thing with me. Open up line of action. Go along with me if you feel like it. It's really helpful. It does, doing these gesture studies and things does help a lot. And all sorts of things. It doesn't, even if you're working in doing creatures, or environments and things. It can help because maybe you might need a character in your scenes, in your backgrounds, and that does help for it, but so doing two characters is really a challenging thing too, trying to get those two characters right. I like just focusing on one. Some poses are really hard too, like compared to some others, so very challenging and things like that. So it's cool to have that too, the challenging ones there. Always helpful to do. So we have minute ones now. So basically this little class that they call it, I think it's class mode. They go through. Basically, you can select what you want, so you can have class mode, and you can just have study mode, I think it is, as well. With class mode, you get, depending on how long your class is, you get a certain amount of things. Like, I'm on the half an hour class, so basically I'll be doing this for half an hour of me drawing and chatting with doing anatomy stuff, and then for 10 or 15 minutes I'll go on and just kind of draw what I want, whether that is something I've drawn from this class and I kind of see what I do with it, or just kind of doodle something else, something a little bit different. I kind of I quite like doing these kind of videos. I haven't done a lot of live drawing lately. Mostly it's been on the Tuesday when I've been doing that live kind of drawing, and I felt I've gotten better from where I started actually just live drawing and kind of chatting and painting some time. It's challenging trying to chat and like illustrate and talk at the same time, but it's always helpful to do because it improves both like my presentation skills and things like that for my videos and all that stuff, to try and improve those videos, and also my drawing, while just drawing in general really does help that. So it's different when you're like drawing live, to when you're just kind of chillaxing, just drawing and taking your time with it and things like that. And these gestures, I'm like, I don't expect to get much out of them. I just want to draw, keep drawing, keep trying to get better. I always go to it when, I usually go to it when I'm over whatever I'm working on. Usually is what the case is, or it's like, well, I've just come back from something and I don't feel like just going and working on what I've got to work on. I kind of feel like doing just some drawing. So usually I think, well, I could do some gesture drawing. It's always been that, I feel like I'm quite bad with humans. I'm still, there's so much to learn about it, about drawing humans and things like that. It's definitely one of my weak points, but that's always been something I do, is gesture drawing, which helps me try to break into drawing humans. Surprisingly, sometimes I think I'm better than, I'm better on paper than I can draw a human better than what I think I can, Sometimes that's the case. That's what I feel anyway. I'm always gonna be like, no, I can't draw humans. But then I do some drawings of them, or I've done some characters and stuff. I'm like, oh, I actually can, but I still kind of doubt myself with it. I guess it's just one of those things. It's like, constantly wanting to improve on it. I could do better. Having that is kind of there. So yeah, and as I say, I'm not the best at gesture drawing either. Like I've still got room to improve here. Trying to feel poses and stuff. With time limits, though, I feel much better when I don't have time limits. Just go to chillax and draw through it. I don't really like these whole having to, spend a minute doing the drawing, then, but it's good too, because I'm not drawing, like, the same thing as well. Drawing the same pose, draw it, like, same pose in 50 seconds, or the same person as well. It's nice to change it up, and, have some female characters here, have some kind of male characters like big buff men as well come up here, and a bit more skinnier men, and same with the woman, a bit more bigger woman, blah blah blah. It's nice to have a little bit of change up. See, I'm totally off here with like this whole league thing. It's always, it's interesting when something's coming towards you. It always gets mixed up trying to get it, in the right position. What overlaps what, it's always... So I got 5 minutes here, so I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit. And we're gonna take some time in this one. So I got 5 minutes here. I didn't realize that. I thought I still had a minute. So I got 2 more at 5 minutes. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So if I go quiet, it's because I'm like concentrating and drawing. Yeah, feel free to ask me questions if you've got any questions. I do, I have these streams every now and again. I usually do Tuesday streams, and then I have a stream video thing that I have on one day a weekend. This is my one for this weekend, which this video is on YouTube basically, and I have one of these a week that I pop up, whether it is with an artist or it's just like me kind of chatting and showing you a video or something. I usually have part of my painting going on, and then I either talk to an artist. It's been quite quiet at the moment. I haven't had a lot of artists in. I had an artist in a couple weeks back, but it's always up and down. Like there'll be months where I'm booked up with artists, talking to them, and then there's times where there's like not many that have the free time and everything like that to chat. But it's always cool to chat with them. It's alright doing these videos as well, just me chatting and talking about my experience, some of the things on my YouTube channel. Just kind of chillax and sit back and talk and stuff like that, This is definitely a challenging pose for me. So I was saying Tuesday streams. I do the Tuesday streams, which has been very helpful to do. Every week doing the Tuesday streams has been It's been interesting. Some weeks I forget about them. And it's like, oh, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh no, I remember now. I've got a stream. It's Tuesday. I usually don't forget though, but sometimes I do, and it's like, oh, I've got to do a stream. But at least it's not something that I have to do much for. It's just kind of me painting while I talk, kind of like what I'm doing here, except usually I'm working on a piece that is for my YouTube channel videos, a pre-recorded one, so I just kind of paint that and chat. Sometimes I chat more than I paint. Other times I'm painting a lot, and I'm not chatting too much. I'm just kind of painting and getting along with it. Yeah. So on another pose here, we've got one more. I think we've got, like, after this 5-minute one, we might have a 10-minute one. I think it is. Yeah, pretty sure after this 5-minute one, it's a 10-minute one. Which is quite cool how they set it up. You have your short ones, then you have your long ones, and then you have your even longer ones. So I mentioned I was on the 30-minute one, because I didn't want to go an hour, because my streams are usually around about 45-ish minutes. So I roughly want to, some free time there for 40 minutes at the end, just to maybe you just chat a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, but chillax, and I might paint something a little bit else. I've got some ideas in my sketchbook at the moment, of some creatures I've been doodling and just kind of creating just for the fun of it. I really enjoy just creating my own creatures and things. Something I really like to do, and so I'm considering like painting some of them. They look really cool. It's definitely like on my list of things to do. There's so much I want to do. I want to finish my book, and then I want to. I even want to create more pug drawings. Doing. I think there was an idea for another pug that I was going to do. It's in my head somewhere. I'm doing different universes of pugs. So I've done the DC, I think a Totoro possibly, or something around that line of things. The whole Ghibli studio as a pug somehow. I'm not sure how to actually do that yet. As in like what it's gonna be. It could be one of those little sprite things as a pug, but I don't know how it would work as well. I've got to draw and like plan that out. I've done Disney with Aladdin's genie. There's Illumini Studios. I didn't think of that. Illumini Studios, the one that have other studio that have created like minions and things. So the idea of having a minion pug that'd be interesting, but it's not like it's gotta interest me as well, because just having a pug look like something isn't too interesting. I mean, I'd say like with the Aladdin pug, I was really interested to see what that would be like, because he's like this kind of interesting mythical creature per se. So it'd be interesting what like a dog would look like as a genie. Like that was the whole idea, and that also being a pug, dog in general was more interesting to me. It's not just, oh, it looks like it's a dog, a pug that looks like a genie. Dress him up as genie. You know, it's a bit more different to me. So it's also, yeah, not just for the hell of it. You know, drawing a pug just as a you know, just because you can draw him as a thing, you know. It's got to have a little bit more interest to it than me, for me, to actually do it. So I know I'm pretty pugged out at the moment, I guess. I quite like all the pieces I've got there so far. So I don't know if I'll go much further with that, since I've done a couple already. I think I'd be more interested now to actually do some just do some creatures that I've been creating and things like that. And I was thinking about Inktober as well. Excuse me. Yeah, I was thinking about Inktober, and like deciding whether I actually do it this year, like how I do it, and all those things. I've definitely decided I'll do it again. I thought I was over it, but I'm like, I'm still not over it. I would like doing it each year. It's just yeah, it's a really nice thing to do, I guess, that I like doing each year. I wish I could do it like all the time, kind of a thing, but I guess that's the motivation, is Inktober. Yeah, I could definitely keep it up, but it's not much different to what I'd be doing anyway. You know, I'm kind of doodling and drawing. The only difference is that I'd be working on like a final drawing per se. You know, I'm getting a final drawing out of each day, where with just me creating, you know, on my own, with not doing like Inktober or anything. I'm just kind of experimenting and playing around and having fun drawing. I'm not looking at getting a final drawing. There are some days that I am looking at getting a final drawing for something. Maybe there's a book page or something that I need a proper drawing for. There are those days that I am working on a proper drawing for a page or design or something that I'm working on. Most of these days are mostly just me kind of playing around, do what's next. I've definitely got another book that I want to do as well. There's another book idea I've come up with. Well, it's an old kind of idea that I've had when I was a kid, and I did create it with my sister, but I don't know how good it is because I don't actually have a copy of the book. Don't know. I know the full story in my head, but I've expanded it because I think it was very simple as a kid. It was just like, boy gets dinosaur and dinosaur grows too big, and then leaves him go in the woods or something like that. Something like that anyway, but I kind of want to expand a little bit, have a little bit of fun with it. I think the story and the whole book was kind of really, really simple, because I mean, I was only 12 or something like that. I was really, 12, something like that. So yeah, reimagining it and recreating it, and doing it on my own as well. yeah, that will be the next big thing that I'll go on to. I've definitely still got to get over this book as well. Still creating that, still getting that done. So yeah, there's still that to go. And it's a big, doing a book is a big thing. So maybe when I've finished it, yeah, I'll do like the creatures. Maybe I'll do a couple of more creatures for fun, and then I might do the actual book. But we'll see how we go. It's been quite hectic at the moment, just to kind of keep up with these videos, and keep everything running as well smoothly. There's obviously hitches that come along, but doing this kind of video here that I'm doing now with me just kind of painting and drawing, does help too, because that gives me kind of a little bit of a gap week that I can use whatever video that I've recorded for the next stream that I've got going on. So this is kind of like a filler per se stream video that's gone on YouTube. So it's kind of a filler, but yeah. But it does kind of have a purpose. It's just me live drawing. I haven't live drawn for a while, like this. Well, live drawn with the fact that it's actually gone on YouTube as well. I have kind of live drawn every Tuesday per se. I'm kind of live painting, not kind of live drawing. Usually I'm finishing off a piece, or yeah, just working down. At the moment, most of my work at the moment is me like polishing and painting pieces up, finishing pieces off and things like that. So there's not a lot of creating new stuff and that kind of thing at the moment. That's where my art journal is at the moment. My drawing book that I bring to work and draw on every day. That's where that kind of thing's at, where I'm just painting. Well, we're just playing around, drawing and experimenting. I've got my tablet that I'm borrowing. That I will get a pen for. It's just a Galaxy Tab that I'm using at the moment. I'm going to get sketchbook on it. I've got a sketchbook on it, and I've got to get a new pen for it. That will be very helpful in actually getting to digitally draw it, and I'll be able to digitally paint as well with it. So that'd be awesome to have, especially because when I'm at work, I've got pretty much just my sketchbook and a pencil. So it'd be good when it's good when I have that too, because I can maybe go a little bit further on some things. I can paint some shadows and the characters, develop the characters a bit further, the drawings further. I can bring them home and then also put it into Photoshop and work on it for a video as well. Some of these characters. Right, do another layer on top. I know I'm not going to have a lot of time here, but I might be able to get just a little bit of like facial detail in here. Just where kind of his eyes sit, his hairline sits. This looks totally off. I mean, I'm not good at all at gesture. It's still something that I'm working on. I mean, this is 10 minutes. I mean, you know, I could work at something like this for hours. You know, I'm still at that stage of learning. But I definitely think, you know, I've gotten a little bit out of this, you know, just doing this. And this is only, like I said, it's only like half an hour lesson. So this is just to help me get better. It's not exactly me achieving the greatest drawing in the world, or anything like that. Something that is going to go into my portfolio. So that was basically the entire class that I just did. It was half an hour class that I've just finished. So woohoo! Just did a half-hour class. So yeah, you can do something like that, or you can do the other one, which is just shows you a gesture image every 2 minutes or so, or however long you want it. You can set it to whatever you like, whether it's every 10 seconds, or every 30 minutes or something like that. It's up to you, how you want to do it, and things like that. I do think it's very helpful to do that kind of thing. So yeah, it's always great. So that's been me just drawing for half an hour. I don't have too much more to say, you know. It's been good doing this YouTube channel and keeping up with it. It is you know, me just finishing off pieces is, you know, it's a little hard to keep up with it, I guess. You know, it's not as exciting as creating new pieces. You know, the best part of actually illustrating for me is, you know, the start point, the actual idea, making the idea itself. And I do enjoy the rest of it, you know, the creating and flourishing and bringing it to life kind of a thing. But the most fun I have is actually seeing, you know, this, like, you know, this part here, you know, the initial kind of sketch come to life, the final drawing per se. That's the most fun out of it all. So I'm missing a little bit of that, but I keep that up with my sketchbook, which is always good to do. I like to keep that up with my sketchbook, and I keep exploring ideas and things. I can't explore everything I want to, or paint everything I want to, because I don't have all the time in the world. One day we will get to that point where I do get to explore everything I want to. One day, maybe I might get to that point where I've explored everything I want to, and then something else will come up, and then it's like, well, no, I haven't explored everything. But yeah, you know, I've just been kind of here. Yeah, thanks, you know, for joining me. If you did join me, I really do appreciate it. I do, like I said, I do Tuesday streams. I do these videos twice a week. I do the weekly stream on a weekend, and then I do weekly tips. With the weekly tips, it's just a 5-minute chat kind of talk thing that I kind of just go through some idea of some sort, and it could be anything. You know, I've gone through, you know, talking about print. I've gone about talking about layers, Photoshop techniques, drawing in general, I'm thinking about doing something along the lines of digital and traditional, like talking a little bit about that. It's just a 5-minute kind of quick lesson that hopefully you guys learn something from. And yeah, each week I try to tackle a topic that either I feel is kind of there somewhere, just sometimes it's just something I've gotten off my head, or it's something I've seen somewhere around, maybe the YouTube community, the art community, just something I've seen or heard that I'm like, oh, I want to make a video on that. Other times I just come up with an idea of things that I could cover, and it's like, yeah, well, I could cover that, and something I want to teach someone, basically. Sometimes I just feel like if I was, just starting out, or wanting to pursue a little bit more at a younger age, like I'm telling myself, 5 years in the past, something, what would I tell myself? That kind of helps me figure out that stuff, what I teach myself, basically. Those kind of things, just kind of giving general advice. I try and, if there's any comments about things that you'd like to hear, feel free to comment anything you'd like to hear about, whether it's something you don't quite know in Photoshop, you'd like me to cover, or something you're not too familiar about and you'd like me to go further into it. Maybe it's something I mentioned on one of my videos as well. So I'm just kind of doodling here a character, kind of generalized human per se. So this is without reference, so I've gone pretty far without reference. It's totally relying on reference 4 or 5 years ago, and now I'm not so much. I still need it to help guide me and things like that, but kind of once I put down the reference and got the whole idea, the whole gist in my head, it definitely does. I definitely still can work at it. I want to actually opacity this down. So, I don't know anything else to say, really. Every Tuesday I do stream. I said that a few times before. What else? Just any questions down below, feel free to ask. I try promote my videos as much as I can as well. I've tried a few platforms to share these videos for people to see. Sometimes I get shout outs as well from the artists I do chat to. I have chat to some pretty awesome people, and some of them I just chat with every now and again. Now it's just like, hey, how are you, and chillax and kind of find out how they're doing and how things are after stream, just to see how they are and doing, because everyone I do chat to I'm really interested in, and I quite enjoy chatting with them. And we do, some of us are really closer than others as well, chatting most of the time. But it's hard when a lot of us are busy, doing their own thing, keeping up with them. For me, I'm really busy, so keeping up with my friends and the people I meet and things like that is really hard as well. Same with family and things like that. It's always a challenge, but yeah. So yeah, this is definitely like, I mean, it's way better than it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Me actually drawing like this, but there's still things that, you know, are challenging. I need a lot of reference for, but I know kind of now how to tackle these things. I think that's important, is knowing how to tackle your difficulties that you're having, like how to, when you've got a challenging pose that you're trying to draw, not to shy away as well. It's always good to keep going, keep challenging yourself. It will be challenging and daunting sometimes, but yeah, it's always good. And that's why I do gesture drawing, is because it is challenging. It's not easy to do. Each drawing, you know, it's like, oh no, this, I can't get this leg right, or I can't get this arm right on this pose, can't get the head right on this pose. You know, every drawing, everything is challenging, but that's the thing that's going to build you. It's going to set a bigger foundation, for when you do pursue art further. So yeah, that's been me. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, whether you've drawn along, watched the me draw and struggle as well, or just listen to the audio. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.